never cared much for moonlit skies. I never winked back at fireflies. But now that the stars are in your eyes, I'm beginning to see the light. I never went in for afterglow or candlelight on the mistletoe. But now when you turn the lamp down low, I'm beginning to see the light. Used to ramble through the park, shadowboxing in the dark. Then you came and caused a spark that's a forlorn fire now. I never made love by lantern shine. I never saw rainbows in my wine. But now that your lips are burning mine, I'm beginning to see the light. Used to ramble through the park, shadowboxing in the dark. Then you came and caused a spark that's a forlorn fire now. I never made love by lantern shine. I never saw rainbows in my wine. But now that your lips are burning mine, I'm beginning to see the light. I'm beginning to see the light. I'm beginning to see the light. Billy's Place, the vibe is light and breezy. Billy's Place, it's a virtual speakeasy. My home base, I'm glad that you dropped by. Time to grab a libation from the shelf. Have whatever you want, you gotta make it yourself. Sit back, relax, I'll make your troubles fly. A musical trip, nothing complicated, and if you tip, that's appreciated. Good fellowship with no mask on our face. From apartment 5 across the park, singing and swinging till it gets dark. Don't worry about finding a place to park, just park it at Billy's Place. Park it at Billy's Place. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Billy's Place. It's April 29th. I'm your host, Billy Stritch. Welcome to episode 46. Tonight, we are spotlighting the music of birthday legend Duke Ellington, born on this day in 1899, which would make him really old. 122 years old today, and we're still singing his music. Sit back, relax, have a good time, and park it at Billy's Place. Missed the Saturday dance, heard they crowded the floor. Couldn't make it without you. Don't get around much anymore. Thought I'd visit the club. Gone as far as the door. They'd have asked me about you. Don't get around much anymore. Darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up memories? I've been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? It's awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. Well, darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up memories? Been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? It's it's awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad you're here tonight. I'm so excited about this show. Today, April 29th, is Duke Ellington's birthday. Duke Ellington, my God, I have been aware of his music since as long as I can remember practically, and certainly those first two songs that I did are among his most popular and most well-known. The first one, I'm Beginning to See the Light, was written in 1944 by Duke Ellington, Johnny Hodges, Don George, and the great Harry James. And it was a big hit for the Harry James Orchestra, among other people, Ella Fitzgerald. I mean, it's been recorded by so many people. And the second song I did, Don't Get Around Much Anymore, was written in 1942 by Duke Ellington and a wonderful lyricist named Bob Russell. Now, this is somebody that we don't really know that name, but if you look him up like I did on Wikipedia, he had an amazing long career. Wrote with Duke Ellington in the 40s and then was writing all the way up through the 70s. Some of the other songs, just to show you, some of the other songs he wrote lyrics for were, you know, back in the golden age, Crazy He Calls Me, You Came a Long Way from St. Louis, and then in 1969 he wrote the lyrics to He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. Okay, how broad-ranging is that? I gotta say, crazy. Don't Get Around Much Anymore. As I was singing it, I've debated about whether to do this, but there's a little funny little parody verse that I sing sometimes. Well, I learned it years ago. Let's see, how does it go? This is so bad. Missed the toilet last night, do-do-do-do. Peed all over the floor. I can't believe I'm doing this. I cleaned it up with my toothbrush. Don't brush my teeth much anymore. Isn't that clever? You can always count on classy stuff here at Billy's Place. Thumbs up or thumbs down for that. If it's thumbs down, just let it go. We can just edit that part out and post. Anyway, I'm so glad you're here tonight. First of all, Doug said they're all gone. Everybody left en masse. I heard the door slamming on the way out. Tonight's cocktail is a delicious mint julep in honor of this Saturday's running. Is it called the Run for the Roses? Is that what it's called? Is that? Well, it's the Kentucky Derby. Thank you. You said it's called. Thank you, dear. It's the run. That's the Run for the Roses, right? The Kentucky Derby, the 912th running of that. I don't know. It's been going on a long, long time. But there's an interesting story about. Now, you're not going to ever really hear much about horses or horse racing on Billy's Place. Tonight, you will. About 3 weeks ago, Doug was just looking for a movie to watch, because we both like classic films. We like films that don't have a lot of blood and guts and gratuitous violence. We like calm, easy things we're familiar with. And so Doug was in the bedroom and he had this urge that he really wanted to watch National Velvet. How great is that movie? Starring Elizabeth Taylor as Velvet Brown, as the little girl who wins this horse called the Pie in a lottery. And then, I don't have to tell you the story, then she disguises herself as a boy jockey, and runs in the Grand National and wins the Grand National. Well, here's the deal. Just as he was looking up that movie, all of a sudden, on wherever he was looking up, it popped up that like the day before April 9th, I believe, a woman named Rachel Blackmore, who was a 31-year-old Irish woman, was the first woman to win the Grand National. How random and how cool is that? Now, women have not been allowed in the Grand National. They first started being allowed to run in 1975, so it only took 48 years. But a woman this year won the Grand National. That's a very challenging endurance test. What am I trying to say? A feat of endurance. Anyway, she rode a horse called Manila Times, and she won. And she's so thrilled that she won. She said, I don't even know. It was like otherworldly to her. She goes, they were asking what it's like to be the first woman to win. She goes, right in this moment, I don't know if I'm a man or a woman, or I just can't, I feel like I'm in a movie. Well, National Velvet came to life. So here is the delicious mint julep. And I'm serving them tonight in these glasses. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but they are vintage glasses from the Kentucky Derby, Churchill Downs. My grandmother bought these in 1962. They're as old as I am. And the reason I know how old they are is because along the side it lists all the champions, and the last one listed is the horse that won in 1961. So these glasses are old, like me. Anyway, mm. But this drink is making me feel fresh. Before I go any further than that, please share the show on Facebook. Take a minute, press the share button, share it with your friends. Later on, the show gets uploaded onto YouTube, my Billy Stritch YouTube channel. Please go there and subscribe. I know I say this every week. I am inching my way little by little up to, well, right up to 700 people. I'm trying to get to 1,000 because, you know, magic things I've heard happen when you hit 1,000. So tell your friends to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. And we have the merchandise that which we mention every week. If you go to my billystritch.com page, there is a link to the merchandise store where you can find your tote bags and your t-shirts and your long sleeve t-shirts and your coffee mugs and your tumblers and your caps, and there's like 12 or 13 different items. Cheese boards. Who doesn't need a cheese board? Because summer's coming, and now we don't have to wear masks outside in a group, you know, in a small little group. So everyone needs a cheese board. And also the Billy's Play CD, which I'm going to keep hawking until the end of time. Here it is. You can download it on all the downloadable platforms, but if you'd like me to sign a copy, go to my website and purchase it there, and I will send it to you. And I would love to send it to you. So that's that. And also, I want to give a shout out to my dear friend, Frank Basili, who is a wonderful singer, opera singer. And he was married to a dear friend of mine who I was so lucky to know. And today is her heavenly birthday. I'm talking about the fantastic, brilliantly talented, Academy Award winning actress Celeste Holm, born on April 29th. So I have so many great memories of Celeste coming to see my show at the Metropolitan Room several times. First time I ever met her. Last week, remember, we did the Oscar show, and I was talking about going to the Academy Awards the year that Liza presented the best song for Beauty and the Beast. Well, Celeste Holm was staying at the Beverly Hilton Hotel on our floor, and I remember we got in the elevator with her to go, and Liza needed a compact for some reason. She needed a mirror, and Celeste dug around and she found like a little broken mirror, and she said, "Keep it, dear." They were friends anyway. That's the first time I really had an interaction with Celeste Holm. Actually, I'm wrong about that because she came to see my group, Montgomery, Plant, and Stritch, at the Algonquin Hotel back in the 80s. Anyway, it was my good fortune, my thrill to know her for many, many years. And so, happy birthday, happy heavenly birthday, dear Celeste Holm. And lots of love to you, Frank. This next song, also with lyrics by Bob Russell, 1942. It was written as an instrumental called Sentimental Lady. And then 2 years later, these lyrics were added. I got a lot of requests for this one. I like it a lot. It's called I Didn't Know About You. I ran around with my own little crowd. The usual laughs, not often but loud. And in the world that I knew, I didn't know about you. Chasing after the ring on the merry-go-round, just taking my fun where it could be found. And yet what else could I do? I didn't know about you. Darling, now I know I had the loneliest yesterday. Every day in your arms, I know for once in my life I'm living. Had a good time every time I went out. Romance was a thing I kidded about. How could I know about love? I didn't know about you. Every day in your arms, I know for once in my life I'm living. I had a good time every time I went out. Romance was a thing I kidded about. How could I know about love? I didn't know about you. How could I know about love? I didn't know about you. Love that song. What a great lyric by Bob Russell. Oh, I forgot to mention, and I'll mention it a few other times, but virtual tips are so appreciated. And if you're able, if you're enjoying the show, and if you're able to send any amount, doesn't matter if it's small or large or anything in between, it is greatly appreciated. Doug and I love putting on these shows every week, and there's an expense involved, and of course, we've got bills to pay, and still not a lot of live gigs. I had a couple of gigs last week, which were great. I went to Phoenix and then got back and played at the West Bank Cafe on Sunday. So that actually felt really good. But again, nothing live for about 3 more weeks till I'm back at the West Bank Cafe. It's slowly coming back. Every day there's a new announcement. But in the meantime, please feel free to tip through PayPal or through Venmo, and those addresses are on your screen. Venmo is Billy-Stritch, and PayPal is bstritch@yahoo.com. And if you prefer to send a check, that's appreciated as well. Just write me on Facebook Messenger, and I will send you my address. All right, I'm going to do a little mashup, like I like to do, like the kids say, of 2 songs. The first one from 1939, written by Billy Strayhorn, and it was Duke Ellington's signature song. And the second one by Duke Ellington and Nick Kinney from a few years before, from 1933. I'm going to slow it down. You must take the A train to go to Sugar Hill, way up in Harlem. If you miss the A train, you'll find you have missed the quickest way to Harlem. Hurry, get on now, it's coming. Listen to those rails thrumming. All aboard. Get on the A train. Soon you will be in Sugar Hill on Harlem. Drop me off in Harlem. Any place in Harlem. There's someone there who makes it seem to me like heaven up in Harlem. I don't want your Dixie. You can keep your Dixie. There's no one down in Dixie who can take me away from my own Harlem. Harlem has those southern skies. They're in my baby's smile. I idolize my baby's eyes and her classy uptown style. If Harlem moved to China, there'd be nothing finer than to stow away on a plane someday and have them let me off in Harlem. Harlem has those southern skies. They're in my baby's smile. I idolize my baby's eyes and her classy uptown style. All aboard, get on that A train. Soon you'll be on Sugar Hill up in Harlem. Drop me off in Harlem. Drop me off in Harlem. Take the A train. Couple of songs about Harlem. Nobody is more quintessentially New York than Duke Ellington. All of his songs have that cosmopolitan sophistication. They're just suave, debonair, just like the man was. I mean, there was nobody more stylish in his music and his dress and his manner. And if you go through and you look at pictures and you look at albums, it's like so elegant. And so I think maybe that's one of the reasons I'm attracted to him and his music from a young age, because, you know, I grew up in Texas. And anything that was like New York to me was just exactly what I wanted to be. So I think Gershwin was one, and Duke Ellington was definitely another. So I want to tell you about a friend of mine who I'm so proud of. She has a brand new album out, just came out a couple of weeks ago. And she is, this is her first album. Her name is Anais Renault. And I have worked with this immensely talented young girl since she was 13. She's grown up now. She's 17. But you guys, even when we first started working together, I think she first started doing shows when she was 12, mainly, probably before that. But she has speaking of sophistication, she has a sophistication and a style well beyond her years, and a real innate understanding of music. First of all, she's got perfect pitch, which is crazy. And she has such a real insight into these very sophisticated lyrics. I remember when we first got together, and it's still that way with Anais. She really wants to sing real sophisticated music like Mood Indigo and I Ain't Got Nothing But the Blues. She's a Ellington freak. And her first album is the music of Duke Ellington and Billy Strayhorn. And it's called Lovesome Thing. And it is such a accomplished for being a debut album. I mean, it's amazing. It's I'll stand it up next to anyone who's recorded many albums. It's a beautiful production, beautiful band led by the great Emmett Cohen on piano. Great arrangements, and she's dug deep. She's done a few songs that we know, but there were a couple or three on there that I didn't know. So she really does her homework. So I think you should check it out. You can download it. You can also buy it. It's called Love Something. You will not be sorry that I turned you on tonight to Anais Renault. This is one of the songs that she sings on the album, and it was written by Billy Strayhorn and John Latouche in 1939. Originally an instrumental that featured Johnny Hodges on sax, and then these great evocative lyrics were added by John Latouche, who wrote Lazy Afternoon and some other wonderful, wonderful things. This is called Daydream. Funny the way that I feel now. Can't keep my feet off the ground. Everything seems unreal now when you're not around. Daydream, why do you haunt me so? Deep in a rosy glow, the face of my love you show. Daydream, I walk alone on air, building a castle there for me and my love to share. I don't know the time, Lordy, I'm in a daze. Sun in the sky while I moon around feeling hazy. Daydream, don't break my reverie until I find that she is daydreaming just like me. I don't know the time, Lordy, I'm in a daze. Sun in the sky while I moon around feeling hazy. Daydream, don't break my reverie until I find that she is daydreaming just like me. Daydream, Billy Strayhorn and John Latouche. Beautiful song. Check out Anais Renault's recording of that. You're going to love the whole album, I promise. Cheers, everybody. It's almost post time. Doug, you made a good drink. It's really nice. Mint, bourbon, and a little sweet. It's good. All right. Here's a song that was written by Duke Ellington and Milt Gabler, 1939. I have a special, well, two reasons that I love this song. First of all, it's one of the ones that I did with my group Montgomery Plant in Stritch. We sang it for several years. It was one of our big numbers. If you go to YouTube and you Google us, and you search us, Montgomery Plant and Stritch, we performed in 1988 at the Newport Jazz Festival, which was certainly just about the high point. We had a couple of really good years and had some really good gigs, Carnegie Hall in Europe and the Newport Jazz Festival. And you can hear our version of In a Mellow Tone. Part of it's based on the Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross version. John Hendricks wrote special lyrics, a few of which I will do tonight. But I also more recently have a special affinity for this song because the year that I worked with Tony Bennett, this was always the song that he would do his sound check with, and he would sing it once through, and they'd be like, great, we're done. The band would get there, we would all sound check, we'd all make sure we could hear, and then we wait, and all of a sudden Tony would come in, and I would do this, and he would go, in a mellow tone, feeling fancy free, and I'm not alone. I've got company. Everything's okay. The live long day with this mellow song, I can't go wrong. In a mellow tone, that's the way to live. If you mope and groan, something's gotta give. Just go your way and laugh and play. There's joy unknown in mellow tone. You take it easy every day, and life is easy every way. Pretty soon the smoother you go, pretty soon you hear, pretty soon you know. And when you sing, you might as well make it swing. Just listen, see what you're missing, not swinging constantly. You ought to keep it soft and low. You needn't holler loud, you know. Pretty soon you're living on love. Pretty days ahead, pretty skies above. A song of love and love alone. I'm talking about living in a mellow tone. In a mellow tone. That's the way to live. If you mope and groan, something's gotta give. Just go your way and laugh and play. There's joy unknown in a mellow tone, with the grooving, with the moving, with the rhythm, all our own mellow tone. In a mellow tone. I love that song. Gosh, well, I love all these songs. I know I say that about every song, but it's true. I usually don't pick songs for this show unless I like them or unless I'm begged by somebody to do them. This next song is a song that I actually recorded a few years ago on an album that I did called Billy Stritch Sings Mel Tormey. And I'll give you the connection here. So this was a song that Mel Tormey recorded on an album that he did called I Dig the Duke, I Dig the Count. Or maybe it was called I Dig the Count, I Dig the Duke. Anyway, it was Count Basie and Duke Ellington. And so it's included on my album, which, by the way, here is that album. This album is also for sale through my website. I will sign this one for you as well. This has a lyric by another great singer, songwriter, the great Peggy Lee. She heard this song. She actually heard the tune. This is from, this song was written as an instrumental for a 1959 film called Anatomy of a Murder. And Duke Ellington wrote this brilliant score, and he's also in the movie along with a lot of the people in the band. They're featured in the film. It's a fantastic drama. If you haven't seen it, it's one of the best. Otto Preminger directed it in 1959. It's one of the most wonderful courtroom dramas. Jimmy Stewart, Lee Remick, this great Duke Ellington score. The score is so great. It won 3 Grammy Awards that year. One for, 2 categories that they don't even give anymore, but one's called Best Score Album. Anyway, he won 3 Grammys for his soundtrack to Anatomy of a Murder. And there's a scene in the film where Jimmy Stewart is fly fishing, and this music plays under that scene. Peggy Lee loved the theme. She asked Duke Ellington if she could do lyrics to it, and he yes, graciously said yes. And it's called I'm Gonna Go Fishing. Woke up this morning wanting to cry, but then I remembered, yes, I knew why. She's a real good one for having her cake. I'm gonna go fishing or jump in a lake. Yes, I'm gonna go fishing. That's what I'll do. Think about nothing, not even you. Catch a big one, a big speckled trout. Snap him in the water, I'll pull him on out. Sweet talking liar, spin me a yarn. You tell me a story big as a barn. Don't stop listening, I won't hear you out. I'm gonna go fishing and catch me a trout. If a gal is a liar, a gal is a fool, playing for keepers, breaking the rules. She'll be the loser yet to find out. I'm gonna go fishing and catch me a trout. Ooh, yeah, 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 here in the water. Look at him shine. There goes a big one. Hey, 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 that one is mine. Cast up the reel now, I got the feel now. Hooked on my fly rod, I got me a trout. Sweet talking liar, you're in for a fall. You tell me a story, you talk to the wall. Gonna go my way on down the highway. I'm gonna go fishing now. Yes, I'm gonna go fishing. Oh, I'm gonna go fishing and catch me a trout. What do you think about that? Yes, I'm gonna go fishing, catch me a trout. Peggy Lee, Duke Ellington, Anatomy of a Murder. Watch it if you haven't seen it. Okay, you got a list of things to do. Watch that film. Get Anais' album, and share my show. Go to YouTube, subscribe, all those things, right? Buy the albums, do everything, and enjoy your drink. Here's one of my favorite old, well, none of these are new, sorry, but one of my favorite ballads from the Duke Ellington canon, written by Duke and the great lyricist Paul Francis Webster. Again, not necessarily a household name, but he wrote so many great lyrics. He actually wrote one that I did last week and won an Oscar for. He wrote the lyrics to The Shadow of Your Smile in 1965 with Johnny Mandel. Also with Johnny Mandel, he wrote a great song called A Time for Love. He wrote Secret Love that Doris Day sang in Calamity Jane. Love is a Many Splendored Thing, which I sang on my Oscar show 2 weeks ago. Maybe I did. Yeah, I think I did. I sang that. This is from 1941. Great song. Uh, it's called, well, you'll know what it is. Never treats me sweet and gentle the way she should. I got it bad, and that ain't good. My poor heart is sentimental. It's not made of wood. I got it bad, and that ain't good. And when the weekend's over and Monday rolls around, I end up like I start out, crying my heart out. She don't love me like I love her. Nobody could. I got it bad, and that ain't good. Though folks with good intentions tell me to save my tears, I'm glad I'm mad about her. I can't live without her. Lord above me, make her love me the way she should. I got it bad, and that ain't good. I got it bad, and that ain't good. That's a great ballad, one of the great Torch songs of all time. I'm telling you, you look up Torch song in the dictionary and you get that, and maybe Stormy Weather and a couple of others, but that is right there on the list of the best. I Got It Bad, and That Ain't Good. If you just joined us halfway through, I'm Billy Stritch, and this is Billy's Place, episode 46, celebrating the music of the iconic, wonderful, legendary, unforgettable, never to be forgotten Duke Ellington. That music is going to live forever, and aren't we the lucky recipients to have all that great music that he left us? If you're able to send a little virtual donation, or a larger one, or a big one, Uh, Please, I won't. My feelings will not be hurt if you do that. You can do that through PayPal or through Venmo. And so many of you have been doing this weekly or almost every week, and thank you so much for that. I write notes to people every week, and you guys know how I feel about it. I really mean it. Um, I couldn't do this without you. I wouldn't want to do it without you. So thank you. I'm so glad you're still watching. I can't believe people are still watching almost a year into it. Next week is our 1 year anniversary. We started this show last year on May 7th, which was Doug's birthday. This year it's going to be on May 6th, which will be the day before Doug's birthday, but we're still going to celebrate anyway. So it'll be our 47th show. I guess that means we took off about 4 over the year. So we're not at 52, but we're at a year. So next week will be our 1 year anniversary. Anyway, 40 years ago this summer, I took my very first trip to New York City. This little kid from Texas, well, I wasn't little, but I was naive. And I had been saving up my money. I had worked in a piano bar in Houston all that summer, and I'd saved up all my tips. And I took a trip in August of 1981 here to New York. And boy, I went wild with the shows. I saw 8 shows in 9 days. Among the shows I saw were Lena Horne, The Lady and Her Music. Oh, Elizabeth Taylor in The Little Foxes with Maureen Stapleton. Woman of the Year with Lauren Bacall. A great show called A Day in Hollywood, A Night in the Ukraine. A great show called A Chorus Line. Perhaps you've heard of it. A couple of others that, Amadeus was one I saw. Okay, I'm ashamed to admit, I went to see O Calcutta because I was curious. Probably one of the worst shows I've ever seen. And is that 7? The 8th show was Sophisticated Ladies at the Lunfontaine Theater. And boy, was my mind blown. Gregory Hines, Judith Jamison, Greg Burge, Terry Klausner, Phyllis Hyman, this incredible dancing cast, beautiful costumes by Willa Kim, who won the Tony Award that year. Greg Burge won the Tony. It should have won every award. It was nominated for a slew of them. But it was one of the most wonderful reviews type shows that I've ever saw. I hadn't seen a lot to that point, but it still stands up to anything I've ever seen since. And I'll never forget that day. I think I saw a matinee. And they had the staircase that lit up like piano keys. I mean, it's just, oh my God, if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. It was the most colorful, inventive, beautiful celebration of the music of Duke Ellington. And at one point, Terry Klausner, who celebrates the same birthday as I do, February 12th, came out and sang this song, written by Duke Ellington and Don George. I had never heard it before that night. Hit me with a hot note. Hit me with a hot note. Oh, hit me with a hot note and watch me bounce. Hit me with a hot note and watch me bounce. When trumpets heat up, give me a rug to beat up. Hit me with a hot note and watch me bounce. Hit me with a hot note and watch me burn. Slap me down with rhythm from stem to stern. When saxes flare up, how can I keep my hair up? Hit me with a hot note and watch me bounce. Start that trombone slowly while I gather steam. Keep that tempo riding, and I'll come in right on the beam. Hit me with a hot note and watch me bounce. Knock me out with rhythm with great amounts. Let that beat wave, we're gonna have a heat wave. Hit me with a hot note and watch me bounce. Oh, start that trombone sliding while I gather steam. Keep that tempo riding, and I'll come in right on the beam. Hit me with a hot note and watch me bounce. Knock me out with rhythm with great amounts. Let that beat wave, we're gonna have a heat wave. Hit me with a hot note and watch me bounce. Hit me with a hot note and watch me bounce. Hit me with a hot note and watch me bounce. Ooh, I got carried away a little bit there. Hit me with a hot note. Watch me bounce. From the musical Sophisticated Ladies, celebrating the great music of Duke Ellington. Gosh, that's a show I wish they would bring back. I wish there was more shows like that. When Broadway comes back, and it will be soon, more reviews, more celebrations of great American music. Please, just for me, I'll buy a ticket. I'll buy 2 tickets. I'll tell everyone to come. So anyway, I have to take a breath after that. This next song is from 1940, and it's also a lyric by Bob Russell. He keeps showing up when I did this research. Duke Ellington wrote the music, and it's another one that you know, usually done kind of up-tempo, but I'm going to slow it down a little bit, kind of in tribute to another wonderful version of this song, and she slows it down too. Great, great singer, Toni Tennille. Did a couple of really wonderful albums with big bands, and both arranged, I think, by the great Sammy Nestico, who passed away not long ago. But this is one of the songs that's from that, and she slowed it down, so I'm going to do that too. Do nothing till you hear from me. Pay no attention to what's said. Why people tear the seams of anyone's dreams is over my head. Do nothing till you hear from me. At least consider our romance. If you should take the words of others you've heard, I haven't a chance. True, I've been seen with somebody new, but does that mean that I've been untrue? When we're apart, all the words in my heart reveal how I feel about you. Some kiss may hide my memory, and other arms may hold a thrill. But please do nothing till you hear it from me. And you never will. someone new. But does that mean that I've been untrue when we're apart? The words in my heart reveal how I feel about you. Some kiss may cloud my memory, and other arms may hold a thrill. But please do nothing till you hear it from me, and you never will. Please do nothing till you hear it from me, and you never will. That's a good one, isn't it? Love that song so much. Here's another one that I love. I think maybe this was one of the first ones that I remember. Certainly I've been doing it for a long, long time. I do this with my buddy Jim Caruso whenever we work at Bemelman's Bar at the Carlisle, which I hope, again, will be soon. Written in 1953, one of the later songs, written by Duke Ellington and Billy Strayhorn, and Johnny Mercer added these lyrics. And Duke liked to play this as a closing number in a lot of his shows. And I remember very clearly one night seeing Oscar Peterson, the great Oscar Peterson, play at Birdland. Can you imagine? Well, if you were there, you can, but that great Oscar Peterson playing a 9-foot Busendorfer Grand with a fantastic bass player and drummer in that beautiful club, 140 people, all so privileged to be in the room when he played his incomparable version of Satin Doll. And I'm going to sing that song for you now. Cigarette holder, which wigs me over her shoulder. She digs me out getting that satin doll. Baby, shall we go out skipping? Careful, amigo, you're flipping. Speaks Latin, that satin doll. She's nobody's fool, so I'm playing it cool as can be. I'll give her a whirl, but I ain't for no girl catching me. Switcheroony, telephone numbers. Well, you know I'm saving my rumbers for Uno and that my satin doll. And it cool as can be. I'm gonna give her a whirl, but I ain't for no girl catching me. Switcheroony, telephone numbers. Well, you know I'm doing my rumbas with Uno and that my satin doll. And my satin doll. said, Satin Doll, great lyrics by Johnny Mercer, so clever. You know, Uno, skippin' flippin', wigs me, digs me. Well, playful rhymes as always. Doug, are you having a good time?
Yes, I was remembering seeing Oscar Peterson with you.
Doug said, yeah, he did play it twice. I know. Doug was saying he remembered seeing Oscar Peterson with me, and he did play the song twice. He played it, and then he played a couple more, and then he went back into it again. Nobody seemed to mind. It was fantastic, right? Nobody minded, right? It was good. We have a nice crowd tonight, Doug. I'm thrilled. So we're getting close to the end. I'm going to do a couple more ballads for you now. Oh, that drink is so good. Woo, good. I have to say what I like about it is opens up my throat, gets me those high notes. I'm not struggling tonight at all. I'm very happy. Actually, I'm going to turn this fan on. Got this little cute little fan, and I think I'm good. I may get warm, but that's okay. These next two songs I put together, the first one was written by Duke Ellington and the great Mitchell Parrish. Again, not a lyricist that that we know his name so much. I mean, if you're in music, of course, maybe you know his name. They wrote this in 1932. Here's who Mitchell Parrish was. He wrote Deep Purple. He wrote Stars Fell on Alabama. He also wrote the lyrics to a little song that I like to call Stardust. Yes, Stardust. One of the, if not the, most recorded song of all time. He and Hoagie Carmichael wrote Stardust. Anyway, this is a song that he wrote with Mitchell Parrish. Also, Irving Mills has a credit on this song. Irving Mills was the publisher. And according to everything I've written, I'm not quite sure Irving Mills had a whole lot to do with the artistic creation, but being the publisher, he put his name on some of these things. That's okay. That's the way things were then. Everybody knew what was happening. So I've paired this song with a fantastic song by Billy Strayhorn. They say into your early life romance came, and in this heart of yours burned a flame that flickered one day and died away. Then, with disillusion deep in your eyes, you learn that fools in love soon grow wise. The years have changed you somehow. I see you now. Smoking, drinking, never thinking of tomorrow. Nonchalant, diamond shining, dancing, dining with some man in a restaurant. Is that all you really want? No, sophisticated lady, I know. You miss the love you lost long ago. And when nobody's not I used to visit all the very gay places, those come what may places, where one relaxes on the axis of the wheel of life to get the feel of life from jazz and cocktails. The girls I knew had sad and sullen gray faces with distant gay traces, where you could see who used to be, where they've been washed away by too many through the day 12 o'clock tales. Then you came along with your siren song to tempt me to madness. I thought for a while that your poignant smile was tinged with the sadness of a great love for me. Ah, yes, I was wrong. Again, I was wrong. Life is lonely again, and only last year everything seems so sure. Now life is awful again, a trough full of hearts could only be a bore. A week in Paris might ease the bite of it. All I care is to smile in spite of it. I'll forget you, I will, while yet you are still burning inside my brain. Romance is mush, stifling those who strive. I'll live a lush life in some small dive, and there I'll be while I rot with the rest of those whose lives are lonely too. A week in Paris might ease the bite of it. All I care is to smile in spite of it. I'll forget you, I will, while yet you are still burning inside my brain. Romance is mush, stifling those who strive. I'll live a lush life in some small dive, and there I'll be while I rot with the rest of those whose lives are lonely too. Lush Life, written by Billy Strayhorn at age 17 or 18. Can you imagine? That's another one that my 17-year-old friend Anais Renault sings on her album called Love Something. Um, these young kids with their big ideas of sophisticated songs. Anyway, she sings it great. But that is that lyric. I mean, in my mind, you should be, old to sing that. I have never attempted that song until just a couple of years ago. Uh, but hey, if you got the chops, do it. Thank you so much. I have had the best time singing Duke Ellington's music for you tonight. Doug, did you have fun tonight?
I did. This is really Billy's place tonight because this is where you live
Mm.
musically. It's really, and it's showing a lot of people are doing that.
Oh, good. Doug is saying this is really where I live tonight. It's where I live musically, and this is what's coming through, the kind of jazz thing, right? Um, and that you are all kind of picking up on that. Well, it is. I have to say, I resonate a lot with Duke Ellington's music. I mean, I love everything I do. Next week is going to be our anniversary show. Haven't quite figured that out yet, but since it's Doug's birthday, I'm going to be doing some of his requests. I'm going to be pulling out some of my favorite songs from the past year, and I do welcome your ideas. That's the point. We have not finalized a set list, so if you have any particular favorites that you remember that I did over the past year that you enjoyed, let me know. It's going to kind of like maybe be a best of kind of show, I think. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to celebrating my honey's birthday and our first anniversary of Billy's Place. I can't believe I even said that. My God, a year later, when we start, I mean, I've said this every week. When we start, it's like, oh, I'll do this a few weeks, it'll be fun. Who would have thought? But what we've created, what so many of my friends have created in their own shows, um, I want to give everybody a pat on the back because we've all found a way to pivot and figure it out. And I have to tell you, it has certainly sparked my creativity, and your support and your viewership, and certainly your donations have encouraged me and helped me so greatly. A lot of you have asked recently if they said they're going to be sad when the pandemic is over and Billy's Place is over, and I say to that, who knows if Billy's Place will be over? My idea, since I've been able to sing to so many of you across the ocean and in Texas and California and all over the place, why would I want to stop this? So I have a feeling we'll revisit it in some form and do it at least once, maybe twice a month. So, because I'm enjoying it and I don't want it to come to a screeching halt. But for the next little while, for the next foreseeable future, we'll be continuing with Mondays, same time, same channel. Thursday. Why did I say Monday? Well, it's because this drink he made me. Yeah, Thursdays. That's what day it is. Thank you, Doug. Every Thursday, Billy's Place, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Please tell your friends. More people are finding out about this, and also go back and discover some of the shows you might have missed on my YouTube channel. And subscribe. Please, I want to get that number. I'm begging you, I want to get it up to 1,000 because I think they'll send me a present or something. I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, I'm going to close with probably the most famous song of Duke Ellington. You guys, I know there's a ton of stuff I left out. So that's on purpose because, maybe there'll be a volume 2 somewhere down the line. But only so much you can put into, yikes, an hour and 15 minutes. Time for me to get off the stage. What good is melody? What good is music if it ain't possessing something sweet? It ain't the melody, it ain't the music. There's something else that makes the tune complete. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do I, 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 do I. It don't mean a thing, all you got to do is sing. Do I, 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 do I. It makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Give that rhythm everything you got. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. What good is melody? What good is music if it ain't possessing something sweet? It ain't the melody, it ain't the music. There's something else that makes the tune complete. Okay, I'm gonna need your help. I want you to sing along, and I can hear you. Here we go. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. It don't mean a thing. All you got to do is sing. You can do better. It makes no difference if it's sweet or hot, 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 hot. Give that rhythm everything you got. Oh, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-ah, 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 softer. Do-ah, 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 softer. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I'll see you next Thursday at Billy's Place. Have a great week, everybody. I love you all. Love you madly, as Duke would say. Good night.